Good morning. Good morning. Guys, good morning. Rise and shine. Welcome to MUFC Realist TV. We've seen it all. We've done a lot. We Manchester United, but we never stop. And what about that beautiful goal? What about that beautiful goal from... I cannot stop thinking about it. We're talking about Garnacho. We're talking about Garnacho. What athletic goal. And the media and pundits cannot stop talking about it. It happens every once in a decade, guys. Welcome back to MUFC Realist TV. I have a jam-packed show for you today. I have beautiful guests in the studio waiting to come in. But guys, before we continue, don't forget that hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, because this is the aftermath, this is the avalanche. Are we now turning the page, guys? That is the questions we have to ask. Please, guys, enjoy the show. Take a sip on your coffee. I'm having a double espresso because Manchester United is like...
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Hopefully, we are turning the page. It's not shit anymore. It's not shit anymore. It's turning to something really special, guys. And continue. Let's have a sip on a coffee and continue because we are going to have a fantastic show. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Hey. Let's get ready to rumble. You see, I am so happy. How good does it feel to wake up with a 3-0 victory? I mean, God, you know, Endorphins FC. Call me Endorphins FC. I'm Realist. We're here to bring you the news. We're here to talk about the news around Manchester United. What better way to bring in Mark into the stage as well? Big up, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Good morning, everyone. And you know how it is. It's exciting waking up feeling happy in the morning. Manchester United won. You know, everything is good. The week is going to be great. You know, we just have to look forward to Galatasaray and hopefully another win. That goal, I can't stop thinking about it. I pretty much see that goal in my sleep all night. Can't help it. It was exciting.
Get on your bike, Mark. You know, in bicycle terms, or when you say way of life, like, you know, start slacking and get on your bike. But this was a bicycle goal, guys. Listen, VR room, everyone that's tuning in. I know it's early morning, 8:30 UK time. We are rise and shine because we are so far ahead of you in time difference. Another person that I want to bring to the stage, special guest for today. We call him Streetford Post. We have Streetford Post in the house. It's Sal, how you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Mick? What's going on, Mark?
What's cooking?
What's going on? Yeah, it's good news. It's good news for once. We have something positive to talk about, you know, something beautiful, you know, to talk about. Not dull, a 1-0 win. It's one of the greatest goals of all time. That's what we're talking about today. One of the greatest goals of all time.
It is one of the greatest goals of all time. I mean, that technique, I was watching the comparison. They did a comparison. They drew the line between Wayne Rooney and Alejandro Garnacho. And they're saying, like, okay, Wayne Rooney, he hit his shin pad. This was a clean acrobatic mode. The way he took it back, the way he tracked back and just threw himself. What? He's 20 years old, 18 years old. What? 19? How old is he?
19.
19 years old, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. That gives me goosebumps, gents. And you know what? He's only 19. He has 10 years of his career ahead of us, right?
Only 19. You know, it looks like he's planning to scrub that one off the 17 by the end of this season. I think Mason Mount has a bit of a, contemplation in his hand, a fight for that number 7. This guy he's out for it this season.
He deserves it. Sal, just the reaction on his face, it was just like, woof, woof, woof. I don't know what happened. Like, woof, did I do this?
It reminded me of the Ronaldo one when Zidane done the old woof woof. I mean, hopefully it's just not a one-off. Hopefully he can carry it on, and he could build from there, and score goals like that on a regular.
But he did the Sue. He did the Sue. He did the Ronaldo.
What do you think about that? Do you think he should have invented his own move?
Definitely.
Yeah, he should have done, isn't it?
He should have done,
his own.
Stop copying Ronaldo, okay?
Yeah,
Garnacho, if you hear us, stop copying Ronaldo.
Ronaldo's ego is big enough, I think.
Definitely. And Messi too. Like, we have the Ballon d'Or. We just might just rename it to Messi Ball. You know what I mean? Messi's going to get it. Messi Ball. Messi Dior. Anyway, guys, big up for coming in. We have some exciting people in the VR room. We'll give you guys a big shout out for you that made it. And whatever you're drinking, raise your glass. I'm having a double espresso. Guys, if you're having coffee, tea, let us know as well. We have Dan Smith in the house saying, very dodgy in defense. Top team would have a field day. Good win, though. Remember, the Glazers are still here. 100% success buys them more time. Mainoo, great prospect for the future. I salute you, my friend. Big up to you for coming in here in the morning and having your say as well. Compost Smurf is here. Smurf is what you're saying. We finished fourth or third, like I said, in the summer window closed. Erik ten Hag in the club has got to the next summer window right. We still carry too many passengers every game. Guys, are we carrying too many passengers on the game? Do you reckon? The topic of the day, are we turning the tide? I'm a little bit too PTSD to say it's a challenge charge, but definitely if you look at the table, he ain't that bad, Mark. He ain't that bad, Sal.
Ain't that bad. It really isn't, I wouldn't go so far as to say the title charge just yet. I would like to see us go on a run of games and maybe pick up some more consecutive wins going into the Christmas season before I say, title charge. But, we're 6 points off the top. It's not hard to say that we can make up 2 games with everyone having to play each other at least another time. I think a lot of points will still be there to drop from other teams, and we could still, make up some points. We had a team in form. We've been growing into the season. We didn't start off really well, but as you can see, the team is creating more and more chances every game, and they're getting better. You know what I mean? The forward line, 3 of them got on the score sheet. 1 was a penalty, but Marcus Rashford needed that. You know what I mean? Hats off to Bruno for giving him the penalty. You know what I mean? I think it might spur him on. I hope to see him get, more goals and better performances, but he also needs a rest. So I think being out of the Champions League fixture on Wednesday will do him some good as well.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Sal? Is it too early? I mean, let's do the sensible thing. I said it yesterday. Just take it game by game, because nobody expected us. Like even Shaka Hislop was saying on ESPN, like, where did they come from? Even Nader was saying, like, what happened here? Like, Manchester United all of a sudden 6 points away from the top. We've been doing our business. Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, it depends. For me, it's the Newcastle game I want to look at first. If we win against Newcastle, then I'll start to believe that it's who knows, who knows. But at the moment, I'm taking, as you said, game by game. Let's see how it goes. The performance yesterday, we were very lucky in the first half. We could have been 2-3-0, 3-1 down at halftime. If it wasn't for Calvert-Lewin's finishing, we would have been down. But we showed resilience, and people have to remember the crowd were up for it because of the 10-point deduction. That we showed great character and charisma, and it goes against what people have been saying about our mentality. We showed a strong will to win yesterday, and I was pleased with that. And I haven't seen that since last season, to be honest with you.
No.
And I'm glad we did the business.
Yeah, no, guys in the VR room, in the chat room, let us know what you're thinking. I don't want to say, a title charge as of yet. It's too early. I mean, the points table at the moment is a false table. That's what I always say. I mean, you can see the table shaping correctly around February, like, beginning of February, March. That's where you see. But honest to God, to say that, what, if you look at the current state of affairs, where we had half a squad injured, Kobe Mainoo does his debut game and gets the man of the match performance. Luke Shaw's coming back. We're getting balanced team. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This was a confidence boost win. I thought we were quite compact. There was a little bit of a disjoint in the first half, but second half was controlled. So it was pretty much a game of two halves, according to my opinion, gents. But guess what, guys? Football is a results business, isn't it? You know, sometimes you play good, sometimes you play shit, but it's the 3 points that you register on the table that matters at the end of the day. And that's what Ten Hag's been doing, you know, slowly getting those points, 1-0 wins, 2-0 wins, draws. But if you look at our current form, we played 5 games, 4 wins, and 1 loss. We apparently the informed team of Premier League. You know, Nana is leading the Golden Glove, award at the moment, most clean sheets. So I think we've been blinded by the lights, like that song. Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. Because we've been thrown such much negativity from the media. They've been creating this Ten Hag out, the sales takeover processes, and how we've been playing, the injuries, the accusations. It's been a lot for Manchester United fans. So we've kind of been sidetracked a bit, focusing on the negatives rather than seeing the positives. And all of a sudden, people just waking up today and say, "Whoa, how did this happen?" We're 4 points away from Liverpool. We are 6 points away from Arsenal. So I'm saying, ain't that bad. But there's a big but. Always a big but. Take it game by game. So as you said, Sal, we have Newcastle away, but Newcastle hanging on to the bare bones as well with their injuries. Right? So therefore, the taking. I think that Galatasaray is going to be a difficult game. However, Galatasaray is also there for the taking, right? We get a balanced sheet. So I believe I can fly. Anyway, we got all of you that's coming in. Jarvis Cocker is in the house. Good morning to you, saying the title charge. Lindelof, Backways, Rashford, Glassman, and Bravo. Fernandes will never win us the league. Don't get giddy. Jarvis, come in and find. Be the popular. Anyway, big up to all of you that's coming in. What do we have in store for today, Mark, in terms of the news?
Well, the headlines has been dominated by one youngster, so I'll just take it aside and put another youngster in the front of the fray because, Kobe Mainoo had a brilliant performance on his first full debut. The youngster, also 18 years old, seeing himself all about the field, with a goal line clearance on a 19-minute was saving grace of the Manchester United game, to be fair, because if that goal had went in, I think, United might have, struggled more in the game than we did. And he was there. He was there in the midfield. He was directing Scott McTominay throughout the game, showing him where he needed him to be, what he needed him to do. It's just one of those things where, we got 2 young players that's showing up on the field in and amongst our first team senior players, and they look like they've been there for at least 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, the special one here is coming in to say Mainoo. Guys, I'm not going to get too giddy here. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't want to put too much pressure on this youngster, but he can, Sal, we've seen what he can do. We see what he can do. And we could tell that Ten Hag was gutted in the preseason when he actually got that injury on the AstroTurf in US, right? But to come in and boss the game, to actually go and pick up the ball and with such an ooze and confidence, gliding through, he reminds me a little bit of a Frankie de Jong. What's your take on Kobe Mainoo, and how do you think we should handle him going forward for now?
During the preseason, we were doing really well at the beginning, winning games with Kobe Mainoo, Dan Gorey as well. And I was saying, this player, this Mainoo, he's going to be a star. And I saw that. I watched some reserve games, youth games, and I could see it back last season, that this player, he's something else. He reminded me of like a young Makelele kind of player as well. If you ever seen Makelele play, he was a similar type of ilk. He does things naturally. He does things in a calmness. He gets the ball. He doesn't even look up. He knows where the players are. Like that ball he played, I think it was it to Fernandes when he just chipped it over and almost created a goal. I think it was either Dalot or Hernandez he passed the ball to. He's got natural ability, and I think we shouldn't put too much pressure on the lad because obviously it's his first game. It's only Everton, but Everton, we've seen before big players, crumble. against Everton. And for him to come in that cauldron and perform like that and perform a man of the match display, I mean, the future's bright for United. And United have always been prided themselves on youth. And I feel like we should trust the youth a bit more. Alex Ferguson famously said, if you don't give youth a chance, they'll stagnate, you know. And I think we've had enough with, obviously, the mainstays, the players who've been there 10 years, the McTominays of this world, the Rashfords of this world. It's about time we give some of these younger players a chance, you know, see what they can do. And I won't be surprised if he starts against Galatasaray on Wednesday, to be honest with you.
Yes.
But Galatasaray, I would say this. I remember we played Galatasaray, I think, in 1994. And the atmosphere back then is a lot different to it is now. It's a much more commercialized stadium now. It's not like the old stadium in Turkey that was when Cantona got sent off, for example, the 0-0 in Turkey. I remember that. And that was definitely welcome to hell. But I don't think this one is going to be as bad. Chelsea have been there a couple of times, won 5-0, I think, once. So we need to go there with confidence.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with you that, you know, Manchester United used to always bring in talent, like, you know, from the academy, like, you know, and we can sort of look at the bench who is there, like, you know, who's been favored. And, you know, you could tell that we do have, like, you know, Medjugorje in there. We do have, you know, one player that's coming back to the fray as well is Amad Diallo as well. But, you know, Kobe Mainoo is a special talent. He's kind of a very special talent. With that age and that confidence to boss the number 6 role, for me, it looked like we play 4-3-3, and he was kind of playing in this single pivot, you know, confident, like, and picking up the ball, press resistant, playing it forward, being involved. Like, you know, it is going to be a prospect to see, but I totally agree with you. Just take it slowly, like embed him slowly, right? That's what I'm saying. Even Dango is there. I mean, Jesus, we have so many good talent there sitting there. And Alvaro Fernandez, by the way, is doing madness over in Spain as well.
Rice Bennett as well. He's injured. So he's another defender who can come in, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Alvaro doing bits over there for Granada in Spain. The young lad has been like exceptional. He's been the man of the match 3 games. And this last game, they didn't win. They lost against Almira, but he was the man of the match, and his performances are showing it. You know, it's like it makes you wonder why we didn't even send him out on loan. But if you look at it from the perspective of he needed the game time to develop, then you can see why we sent him out on loan.
Yeah, Ivo Bosic reckons that Mainoo is more than like a Pogba than a De Jong. I don't know. I don't think so. Pogba is more stronger, athletic, you know, hard to sort of take the ball off. But in a way, when I say press resistant, yeah, and the way he glides and the confidence, maybe it's a hybrid between both of them guys.
Yeah, I think so, because, you know, Frankie de Jong is really good at carrying the ball. He has this turn that he does that just takes him away from all the unrushing players that come at him. And Kobe Mainoo is very similar. He has this way he controls the ball. It's like a chop of the side of his foot, and the ball turns with him. You know what I mean? It gives him time to move faster than the player, because, you know, he's one touch turn and the other players have 2 steps to get to him. So I think, yeah, he's very good. Young guy, much to be seen from him. You know what I mean? He's going to have good games like this, probably better games and maybe worse games. You know, we just got to be there to support him.
Yeah, big up, Mark, for your comment as well. So, look, Compost Murphy is saying here, Hannibal, Mainoo, Pellistri, they're all shown that deserve minutes. And these are the youngsters that we are talking about. Like, you know, Pellistri came in, you know, who did he sub? He substituted. Garnacho came in and was contributing for the 3-0 goal. But for me, Pellistri shows more class than actually what we paid 100 million for Anthony Dos Santos.
Pellistri's playing for Uruguay, you know, against Brazil and countries like that in the first team. Uruguay obviously trust him. I think he's a very talented player. He's a natural winger, an old school winger, so to speak. And it's something we've been missing a little bit, you know, a natural sided winger on the right-hand side who can cross the ball, who can cut in, who can overlap. That's what we've been missing. And I don't think Rashford, I mean, he's a right foot. I don't think he prefers the right side, though. I don't think he's a right-sided player myself. I think he likes to cut in and shoot. But Pellistri should be starting. Hannibal, I mean, I'm unsure what Hannibal is. You know, he's tenacious. He works hard. There's something there that I don't know what it is. It's like he's, I don't know what type of player he is. You know, I don't know whether he's a tenacious midfielder, a creative midfielder. I think he needs more. I need to see more of Hannibal. But he did well when he came in, and he didn't put a foot wrong, to be honest.
Guys, I have a suggestion. What I think Hannibal is a not bone collector, but he's a yellow card collector.
Yeah, you know,
but he's very
a very
tenacious.
physical player. Very physical player.
Good, very good. Yeah. Basically, we have a morning chat here from Chuniho. How do I Juninho. Mainoo has been on a special training program by Erik ten Hag, studying the great Erik ten Hag sees a Frankie de Jong type to play his style. Boy has great leap for somebody that's small. And this is, guys, this is what I've been trying to say for the past couple of months. I mean, we know that Ten Hag wanted Frankie de Jong that 2 years ago in the summer. So I think that he sees something in Kobbie Mainoo that reminds him of Frankie, because he wanted to build that style of play, that midfield with Frankie de Jong. Didn't work out. Kobbie Mainoo is close to that hybrid, what we're saying here, Frankie de Jong, Paul Pogba. But I'm not, you know, the judge and jury will be out in a couple of years' time. But for now, putting your foot down, doing your Premier League debut against Everton in that hostile environment, big up, man. Man of the match performance, 100%. So, guys, big up for you for coming in. Mark, we have Antony Martial to talk about as well, don't we?
Yeah, Antony Martial came in yesterday with a very good performance. You know, I have to say that, you know, the striker hasn't been in the best form of late. You know, he's also been injury prone, but it's been really good to see what he was able to do yesterday. He came on and gave a very good account for himself. He was extremely pivotal in the penalty and in scoring the third goal, because, you know, he started the move from in the back and then he finished the move with a brilliant finish. I think, you know, it shows that he's getting some of his self back. You know what I mean? He hasn't been at full tilt yesterday, but he was very into the game. You know, you could see all his movements. He touched the ball like 35 times, but as a striker, you know, that's blame you have to put on the midfielders and the wingers for not getting the ball to him more. But he did his best, in my honest opinion. And I think seeing Antony Martial come back to the fray, scoring the goal the way he did it, only bodes well for Man United going forward in the next run of games.
Yeah, guys, I mean, Martial, he loves scoring against Everton. I think it was his 9th goal against Everton, Sal, wasn't it? Or
yeah, his 9th one. He famously scored one in the semi-final of the FA Cup at Wembley, I remember. Yeah, he's a good team to play against, Martial. Martial, I like to see him play with Højlund. I like to see them two connect. To be honest, at a week on Wednesday, Højlund and Martial. I think it'll be
play
a good,
two strikers next to each other.
Yeah, well, play Martial on the left, Højlund up front. You know, and you can play Garnacho. It's a tough one. He probably play Antony, but we can't leave Garnacho out, can we? This is
no. It's getting a headache now.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. I like to see him, but Martial probably start on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm glad for Martial. I like Martial as a player. He's been pampered by injuries. I mean,
yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, let's take it back to Martial. His performance yesterday. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, I didn't see him do much," but you know, Martial off the ball offers so much, you know, that you can't really see on the eye. But the way he was kind of linking up the play, and he got that goal, beautiful. That 3-0 goal was a team performance goal, to be honest. The first goal, a lot of people were slagging. I was giving praises to Victor Lindelof, but people say he was out of position, but he did a great job. Victor Lindelof, that cross to Marcus Rashford was the beginning. I mean, if you look at the 1-0 goal and Garnacho goal, that was started from Victor Lindelof. The long cross to Rashford to Dalot, you know, the cut back into Garnacho and that goal, right? So it's a team goal. Same thing was the 3-0. And if you look at Martial was pivotal for the 2-0 as well. Like, you know, they thought he was doing a dive, but finally VR was on our side, guys. So later Fortuna was on the side, you know, got a yellow card that got choked off. And of course, Bruno Fernandes gave it to Marcus Rashford that scored. And I think that was a nice gesture from the captain to say, listen, mate, you only scored one game in the Premier League. I give you this one. And he took it beautiful. Big up. Ivo Bosic is saying Martial's ability is never in doubt. 100% is not. He's a baller. He's a baller. The best ability that I have, the best ability to have that he doesn't is availability. Oh yeah. So his injury prone record. Yeah, his body is broken. That finish, his goal was cold. That was class. That's what class looked like. Yeah, I mean, never doubt Martial's finishing that chip, that dink, cold and composed. Anyway, Jeff Steele is in the house as well, all the way from Adelaide, Australia. Big up to new Garnacho. Oh, what a goal and fantastic result, 100%. Guys, I'm buzzing still, right? I didn't go to sleep until 7 a.m. I don't know how many times I was rewatching that goal. You know what I mean? Reckless. Okay, Mark, what's next?
Next is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw played 70 minutes yesterday, and it was very good. He gave a very good account for himself. After being out so long, Luke Shaw was able to come in and, get in the starting lineup, played 70 minutes. He got up and down the field. He was very good, solid in the back. I think for a return from being out since the start of the season, I was glad to have him back. He looked very sure. The back line looks secure, and it looks like Onana is getting that comfortable feeling with the back four, that partnership, that cohesion. So I'm happy to have Luke Shaw back. It's all I can say right now. It's just one game. I hope that he has a good performance in the next game and he could continue with his fitness and get better.
Sal, listen, I was surprised yesterday. I was sitting there doing the match warm-up and I said, the team news came out, leaked out, and I was like, there's no way Shaw's going to get his start. There's no way Kobe Mainoo is going to get his start. But Luke Shaw, first start, played 64 minutes, 73 minutes, I think it was, and they got substituted. I mean, how important has Luke Shaw? I mean, how badly did we miss Luke Shaw, and how important is it to have him moving forward from now?
I mean, it beggars belief that there's still United fans out there who doubt Luke Shaw. I mean, when he doesn't play, we obviously miss him. He links up play well. He's calmness on the ball, his control, his speed, his versatility. He's a player that we miss when he's not there. And yesterday, went just to slot in after being so long out and to play so well. I mean, come on, the guy's done brilliantly yesterday, and for him to be out all season, we needed him. He's come back at the right time as well, because we need him at the week. Because I don't think Reguilon's cutting the mustard, to be honest with you. I don't think he's quite there yet. So, and Luke Shaw, I like to see him in the centre back position as well. I mean, because he's a left centre back, he can play in that position well. So but Lindelof obviously has done superbly well since coming in as well. So as you said, that ball yesterday, if that was Paul Scholes, if that was Xavi, some people would be going mad about that pass. That was incredible. Straight onto the foot. Yeah, straight onto the foot of Rashford. It was incredible. And, the team's doing well. Maguire's doing well. Maguire's been fantastic. And that's what we want. That's all we want. We don't want to slag off our players. We just want to, win games and support United.
You mentioned a very good point. It's fosters competition for places at the moment, right? We've seen that, the press, the vouchers, they want, Ten Hag's heads on the place for not playing Varane, and they were asking the press conference question, what about Rafael Varane? Do you have a beef? And he goes, me and Rafa? No, it's all about people that are informed at the moment, and we know that Rafael Varane has a long record of injuries, and apparently, Harry Maguire worked hard, proved that he can actually be an asset player, and Harry Maguire yesterday was superb as well, I mean, the matter of fact that we actually had a clean sheet, guys, shows you that our defense are more balanced at the moment. But a positive thing is as well, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, then we might have our best lineup with Licha coming back as well, because it's been reported that he's back in training, he's dipping his toes in the grass, and the future looks bright, guys. But I want to bring this from what Kroner is saying here as well. The Real Madrid, oh my God. They're probably going to vouch around to get both Mainoo and Garnacho to pay big money. Mark?
Yeah, well, City's already circling around Mainoo right now. The reports for the last 6 weeks are that City is heavy interested in Mainoo, and they're trying to lure him over to the blue side of Manchester. But we're always going to get these reports, where Manchester United, these young players are showing themselves up
Yeah.
right now, and I think it's something part and parcel with the game. You have to expect it.
They can have there's two Stockport players. There's Mainoo, and there is what's his name? The plays for City. God damn, Jesus, I forgot his name. Phil Foden. They can keep Phil Foden. They cannot have our Kobe Mainoo. No, we will not get it. We're not let him go, guys. Sell. No way. No way.
They're not gonna. No way. We should give him a contract now. Give him a contract now. £1 billion release clause, whatever it is. You're not having it. No chance.
Not
No
having
chance.
it.
They're like vultures, Man City. I won't be surprised if they do go in for him. I won't be surprised and try and lure him with money. They need to concentrate on their charges before they start concentrating on our players.
Yeah,
So,
150 charges. That's 100%. Because yesterday, the hostile environment, the Evertonians, they were up for it. They printed out all these red cards. This is Premier League corruption. I mean, they were up for it. And to play in that environment, it was hostile because they basically, in the first half, they got the team. They carried the team. I mean, we scored that 1-0 goal early, 3 minutes in, and then we sort of caved into the pressure. I mean, it was a really bad environment for us to play. But in order to walk away with 3-0, this victory is amazing. Jeff Steele is saying here, the morning mood with Jeff Steele. Actually, it's evening in Australia. As soon as Garnacho scored that goal, I leapt into the air, delight through immediately of a Rooney and screamed delight lol. Magical moment in the Premier League history. It is going down to the Hall of Fame goal, 100%, because magical moments happens maybe once or twice in a decade, and this was one of them. I salute you, Garnacho, for doing that. It's never easy. I mean, to do that, composed, perfect technique to track back. You know how hard it is to do that? I played the game. I never succeeded. Either you break your ass, or you break your neck by doing so. But this guy is fearless. Right, big up EVR team. What you guys are saying. Morning, guys. We're having David Taylor's coming in. Morning, guys. It was a good result, but performance not good. Still giving the ball away far too easily. Kobe looks class. Glazes out 100%. Let's talk about that one, guys, because form, according to my opinion, is never linear. Form comes and goes. It's like gravity. What comes up must come down. And we're looking at the remaining of the top 6. They are falling off. They started strong, but Manchester United, I can see the form is coming. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now, what's your feeling regarding the form? What's the feeling about the performance, Sal? Like, do you see that we are starting to play what Ten Hag said in the post-match interview yesterday, that slowly I can start playing my style of play with the right personnel coming to be available?
I mean, last season, people forget last season, some of us were talking about a title challenge before Casemiro and certain players got injured. When Martinez was out last season, we saw the effect it had on the team when we went to Sevilla, for example. These players are instrumental to the way Ten Hag wants to play football. And it only takes one piece of that jigsaw to be moved for it to all fall to pieces. And for him to carry on getting results and to change the way he plays, to grind out results, is commendable for me. And when he gets his team back, when he gets his players back, if we start going on a run like we did last season, we went on a huge run last season without losing a game. And everyone was singing Ten Hag's praises. I mean, when he gets the players back, matched with the players he's already purchased this season, I could see us going on a run.
Yeah.
The Newcastle one, I stress, is the one. I know they've got injuries, etc. But let's hope that they don't crumble at St James's Park. Because I know St James's Park is a fortress. I mean, I've been there up in the stars, up in the with the pigeons. So yeah,
I remember Trippier had a confrontation with one of the fans a week ago, and he goes like, "What about the injuries? What about our injuries?" And it's like, mate, you don't know anything, jack shit, what injuries is. Like, Manchester United, we had like half a squad injured. Like, big up Kroner for coming in big. The under-18s is taking on Ten Hag ball, and it's looking really positive. So they are already implementing Ten Hag balls in the academy, the under-18s. The football that lead to the pen for the 5th goal against Southampton was delicious from the back to front. Vid on United Official. Check it out, guys. Check it out. Right, a little bit conscious of time. It's the morning show. Good morning to you all. Don't forget to smash that like button and welcome Sal from the Streetford Post as well. We have a special morning guest. Sal, you're sitting in Abu Dhabi. What's the climate over there right now?
Around 27 degrees. It's a nice little breeze outside. It's a nice breeze outside. It's not too bad. It's not too hot, should I say?
Yeah. That's the beauty of having a global fan base, man. I'm sitting where I'm sitting is 33 degrees in Thailand, 7 hours ahead of UK. It's a challenge. You are what? 4 hours ahead of you. 4 hours. And Mark, you're sitting in Düsseldorf, Germany, with a beanie. So it must be cold, mate.
Yeah, it's cold. It's nowhere near those temperatures here right now. So, hats off to you guys for enjoying the warm weather. It's usually the climate I was from because, I'm originally from the Caribbean, but at the same time, it's nice in the cold sometimes. And I like wearing the beanie. It looks good on me.
But guys, the challenge, big up to all of you that lives in this part of the world, the Australians, the, Asian Pacific, 3 a.m. in the morning. It's going to be a kickoff for the Champions League on Wednesday. It's going to be brutal for myself. And then we're going to do the post-match, and I don't get to bed until 7 a.m. in the morning. Win, lose, or draw, we're there. It's -3 here in the West Coast, Scotland. Face what Compost Murphy is saying, -3 in Scotland. Oof, that's cold. That's freezing your face off, 100%. Let's move on to the show, Mark. What do you have next on the news agenda?
Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is next. Bruno Fernandes gave Marcus Rashford a penalty to take yesterday, and it was very good. A classy gesture by the captain. Helping Marcus get the scoring monkey off his back. Hopefully, it allows him to push on, get more goals, get himself back into form, back into the way he was last season. You know what I mean? A lot of fans like me might be a little bit hard on Marcus Rashford because we expect a lot from him. His teammates expect a lot from him. He's the most senior player in the squad currently. Well, now that Luke Shaw is back, Luke Shaw is now the most senior player in the starting 11. But we need to see more from Marcus, and it's not going to get any better if he doesn't get any better, and if he doesn't start performing. So
I was definitely critical for him yesterday. He's like he activated his Stevie Wonder mode again, but I know it feels like we're trying to shoehorn him. His best position is playing on the left, and then we're taking away the opportunity from Garnacho by shoehorning Rashford into the right. He lost the ball so many times. Again, crash test dummy, just dribbling to a brick wall, trying to make it happen. But guys, that was a beautiful, majestic gesture from the captain to give away the penalty in such a crucial moment to Rashford, meaning that he's trusting Rashford. And one can only hope, because I know that there's goals in Rashford. He scored 30 goals last season. Sal, you reckon he will become good, or is it just a lack of confidence at the moment? What do you reckon is going on in Rashford's head at the moment?
Football is a confidence game, isn't it? Especially with strikers. I remember Forlan going many games without a goal when he couldn't score for love nor money. So, Andy Cole had his times as well when he couldn't score a goal. He couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. It's like confidence is such an important part of football. Rashford's playing like he's got a fridge on his back at the moment, and it's like he's trying too hard, and it's just the game's not coming naturally. In comparison to Mainoo, who's confident, and just doing everything's coming off. He's just not. It's not coming off for him. And we know his talent. We know we can take on players. We know he's good enough. We know. It's just frustrating that he's running into blind alleys. He's getting bullied by defenders. So I hope he gets back to the way he was. I think he needs a little bit of a break, as Mark said. Galatasaray might be a good time to rest. It's a good time for him.
I think he got found out by the defenders. They're all ganging up on him, and I think he has to go back to the basics. I think he's trying too hard. I think he's trying to one trick too many. Just keep to the basics. Be a team player, and the rest will follow.
Yeah,
he's got shackles around his. Pass the ball. Right, be just a team player, because you can do it, Marcus. You can do it, and the rest will follow. 100%. All right, Jesus Christ.
And we're running out of time. For Marcus, I'm going to run quickly. through this little bit here with Antony as he got a knock in training over the last 2 training sessions and was ruled out of the game. Might have been a good thing for him because as well, he's in worse form than Marcus Rashford. Hasn't played as much games, but he definitely has not plugged up any trees since he's coming from Ajax. And a lot of people might say he's a dud, but I would say that, the young guy needs some time. He's very young. He's got the talent. We know why we went for him at Ajax because he was scintillating there. And I'd give him some time. It would be good for me to see Pellistri start right now and then see him come on as the substitute with 20, 30 minutes to go. Let him get himself back in playing form. And probably, you might see why we paid $89 million for him over the last summer.
Yeah, he's another one, Sal, as well, that's kind of got caught in the limelight, with the allegations and everything. Footballers as footballers, but they're also human beings. I think that took a big hit on him, like on his mental health, the allegations. So, yeah, this is another one that I think will benefit just being taken off the limelight a bit. Just work yourself in, do training, do the basics. What do you reckon?
I think so. I think we should give him a rest, let him have even like Sir Alex Ferguson used to send Ronaldo off on holiday. I would send him away for a while, recuperate. We got Ahmad coming back. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm very excited about Ahmad.
Me too, 100%.
I mean, he's proven himself at Sunderland, Player of the Year. I mean, he can cross the ball. He's got more strings to his bow, in my opinion, than Antony. Antony's still young, and he can fight for a place with Ahmad, and we need to give him a chance. I mean, obviously these allegations were huge. It must have mentally, I mean, you 1 minute you're going to prison, the next minute you're playing for Man United. It's a crazy thing, so I think we should just take him out the limelight a bit, like Rashford, give him a rest, maybe send him on holiday, bring him back, and they'll be fresh come Christmas.
100%. This is the way moving forward. But we on later on in this topic as well, we have another player that we need to talk about as well. That's doing madness in the La Liga as well. That is one of our players as well. And that is basically, who? I give you a guess.
I'm gonna start it with Alvaro Fernandez really quickly before we segue to that one. Alvaro has been doing really well in his last 3 starts for Granada. He's received Man of the Match awards each time. And, although they lost to Almeria over the weekend, Alvaro was their man of the match, their stalwart performer. The fans can't get enough of him. La Liga can't get enough of him. There are a lot of interest from different clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid right now in the young, talented left back. And I think, it's been good reason sending him on loan because now we can see what he can do. He's getting regular game time. It's going to be a headache for Eric Ten Hag when he returns from the loan. And a lot of people might be complaining that we did send him out on loan, but no one knew that
I was one of them.
Injuries.
I was one
as well.
Yeah.
But we also didn't know that we would get injuries. And, if we didn't get the injuries, then he would be sitting on the bench. It would have been a waste of his talent, in my opinion.
Here's my problem with that. We knew we sent him off when we had those injuries. And that's the thing. We were sitting here having a stream, and I was saying, well, this will give Alvaro Fernandez his chance right now. What did we do? Send him on loan. But this turned out to be a good card because, as you said, like he's doing bits and pieces in the La Liga. You have like vouchers like Barcelona, Real Madrid, looking for his signature. This is, again, Sal, another one for the future,
The only worry is it raises awareness to the Barcelonas, to the Real Madrids, and these players, they love Real Madrid, Barcelona, because they come from Spain. I mean, their dream is to play for Barcelona and Real Madrid. So it's raised awareness on him. I saw his talent in pre-season. You can tell he's a very good player. When he was playing against Arsenal, for example, he was excellent. And I was so disappointed when we loaned him out because there was talk at that time of Lindelof leaving as well. So we could have played Shaw as a centre back and played Fernandez as the left back. We could have done, and he would have got quite a bit of game time by now. And it's disappointing we loaned him out, but it's obviously he's improved, and he's been recognised as a great player now. But it's bad. It's a double-edged sword, and it could be good or bad.
Speaking of double-edged swords,
I hear you. Yeah, sorry. Just to bring it back a notch. I just gonna bring it back a notch, please. I hear you what you're saying there, because Yarli Malmin is also angry. But I want to pose a question to the chat as well before we move on. Do you reckon we should bring him back in January? Definitely this is our talent, or do you reckon we should cash in, to use that money,
No.
charge like 80 million pounds or more?
No.
I said no.
No.
Smasher 1 if you think that we should keep him. Smasher 2 if you reckon we should sell him. I think personally, keep every single talent that we
Smashing that
have.
one all day.
Smash that one all day. This is our academy. Okay, bringing it forward. Bring Alvaro back is what Ivo Bosic is saying, and I totally agree with you. I was so angry when we actually loaned him out. But loans can also be proven good. Loans can also be proven bad. Depends on where you end up. And we're speaking about Getafe as well now. Next, we're speaking about a next talent that we kind of let go, that's kind of finding his laces and shooting boots.
And for the fourth game in a row, a Mason Greenwood goal has allowed Getafe to come back and gain victory. You know what I mean? And in this game, they came back against Almeria, which was really good. The screamer was something to see. The young lad hasn't played football in over 18 months, and to see him play game after game, and to see him bring back the same techniques, the same intensity that he had at United when he was in that run of form, right, going into January, right before he was suspended. It's amazing. Hats off to the youngster. He's doing very well. He has 4 goals in 7 games and 3 assists so far. So that's 7 goal contributions for Getafe in as many games. And, he's only had 4 starts in those 7 games. So you have to pay attention to that as well. I know it's a tough situation with the allegations around him and everything. And, it might be tough on the club. But if we're focusing on football and we want to win, like, a football club, I just think, it's an option to have.
This is a very tricky one. I mean, I'm a club person, club first, team first. The rest is just noise, to be honest. And we've been through these rounds before. Like, it's been proven not guilty. The club has done this thorough investigation. Richard Donald got sacked because he promised Ten Hag to, deliver Ten Hag back to the team. And then these leaks came out, and there's moral compass. I understand that. At the end of the day, I think it was the best sensitive thing to send him out to loan to get his form up and running. But apparently there's a clause that we can actually bring him back in January. Now, barring that we need strikers, Sal, would you bring him back?
I'll leave him in Spain until the summer, because just let the noise drown out a little bit. There was a lot of virtual signaling going on, a lot of people, self-righteous people speaking, about him. A young lad, a young man, and the way the fan base jumped on him, it can't have been good for him mentally. I think he's doing really well in Spain. It's a great country. It's a great culture. You go over there, enjoy it, learn, and bring him back in the summer, because at the end of the day, I'll get in trouble for saying this, but he's a human being. No. Yeah, he's a human being. He's made a mistake. And at the end of the day, footballing wise, he's the best youth academy product we've had for years, and he coming back next season with that experience, if he wants to come back next season, that's if he wants to, because, it could be only good for us. It's only going to be good for us, because at the moment we miss him. Yeah, we do, to be honest, because and I just felt like they've demonized him a bit much in the fan base.
But it was also a media witch hunt.
Yeah, there was a media witch hunt. It's a United media witch hunt. It would have been interesting to see how Sir Alex would have dealt with the situation, because he was like players first. Because at the end of the day, not guilty.
100%.
Yeah. Not guilty is not guilty. And there's many players in the past I can think of, who've done far worse and been guilty and have been let off. I mean, there's some playing for the team in the top of the league at the moment.
Yeah.
So we have to believe in second chances. The guys.
Me too.
He's obviously a good lad. He's a talented lad, and if we bring him back in the summer, if he would come back, it can only benefit United, in my opinion.
But also, I think he learned something, he matured, he became a father, he's more responsible, he's a family man now. And life changes when you have kids. That's the thing, right? Your life starts over again, and that's your second chance. And I'm a realist, so I look at it from my holistic perspective by facts. And at the end of the day, what you said, not guilty, not guilty, proven by the club, proven by the the jurisdiction system as well. But still, that's that moral compass that kind of, in today's modern society, you can just point the finger to somebody and say you're guilty. And that's the worst thing you can do, like to be judged in the social media. That's pretty much character assassination. We've seen with multiple how do you say it, influencers. We're talking about the famous actor, what was his name,
Jo- Johnny Depp
Russell
is
Brand.
one.
Russell Brand as well. He just got banned because he was so vocal, and they just throw ridiculous accusations what you did 10 years ago and stuff like that. So I think we are living in a dangerous society at the moment where you can just point the fingers to say, like, you're a rapist, or you're this, or you're that. And even if you're not guilty, you'll always be labeled as one. You know what I mean?
It's
So
cancel culture. Yeah.
yeah, cancel culture. Yeah. So I just don't like it. At the end of the day, he's contracted a Manchester United player, and what you said, he's the best that came out of the academy for a long, long time, the best natural finisher as well. So it's a lot of people saying in the chat, like, keep him away for another 6 months. That will only do good for him. I totally agree. Like, let him play football, let him enjoy his life, and the noise will settle. And moving on to the next story as well, Mark. What do we have here on the plate before we close the shop? We are so over time today, people.
Guys, I'm just gonna go through this quickly. Maybe I could run through a few of these because this is just
Yeah, do it.
a few interests that United have in the market right now going into January that we're observing. Manchester United is keen on the 60 million pound rated Wolves attacker Neto. Everyone knows his performances this season has been very good, and I could say that for me, I think he might be a decent addition to the squad. I'm just considering how it's going to affect and impact the development of Garnacho going forward. But to have a winger with this ability come into the team is only going to benefit Manchester United. You know what I mean? I'm going to move along really quickly. Andrea Kanchelkis has suggested Manchester United get this young 23-year-old Kazakhstan player, Imran. He's very, very talented. He has shown up himself in the Nations League and the current Euro qualifications for Kazakhstan. But we all know it's international football, so we need a bigger sample size to see what he really has to offer. And moving along, there's been reports that João Neves has reported to tell Barcelona scouts that no, he's not interested in a move to Spain. He's also been very keen and heard to be said to be very keen on the Manchester United interest on him. So Barcelona has been reported as saying that they accept that João Neves is bound for Manchester United, courtesy
Oh yeah.
One Football. And there's also other reports that you have been talking about. Well, Marcus Leonardo,
Oh,
Manchester
bring
United
him
has
back.
found out the
Bring him
price
on.
for Marcus Leonardo as Santos slashes his price down from 22 million to 15 million pounds in January. So, will the United negotiating squad go after this player? Will the scouts go after him? Who knows? We know Ten Hag was keen on this player over the summer, but we did not have the funds to secure a signature. So we move on, and we know another starlet that we've been scouting very heavily in Goncalo Ignacio, and he's also on the list of potential signings for January, which is shocking because everyone expects him to be a summer move. But the youngster has been reported as saying, Man United is my first choice if the option comes along. So, another boost for the team if this is possible. And Manchester United could also acquire this talented duo of Lilian Thuram for the midfield and as well as Jean-Claude Todibo. And these players come from OG Nice, which is reported to be, the club also owned by the suspected 25% takeover owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So, guys, the January window is seeming exciting. There's also interest in this young player, very, very talented, Alan. He comes from Derby County and is very, very good at what he does. Manchester United are set to compete with Chelsea over his signature for the U team. I'm not going to dwell too long. You guys could check him out and applaud the women's team this weekend for their
Yay.
2-0 drubbing of Bristol City, guys. You know what I mean? The U team is doing well, the male team is doing well, and the youngsters, as people were speaking about before, 5-0 win over Southampton. They ran riot. And as you could see, young Whitley is in front. Wheatley is in front there. He's very, very talented, guys. I think you need to look at this youngster.
Yeah. Just going back in timeline, I missed this one. Privilege is saying, if you think Mainoo is good, wait until you see Shea Lacey. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm going to throw that. That's paper talk, Mark. And I always find it amusing with paper talk because do we even have the funds to go on the transfer market to get all these players? I certainly want to hear from you, Sal. For me, I'm on the bandwagon of Marcos Leonardo, 100%. What a striker. Oh, God. But we also need a Todibo, 100%. We need a centre back because we've seen that Varane. I mean, we cannot rely on a 36-year-old Johnny Evans and Maguire. So we need another centre back. And we definitely need a striker as well because Martial. Yeah, okay. Can we count on him? So coming off the bench. Højlund, too much pressure to put on a 20-year-old. Scored 5 goals in the Champions League. Still has not registered 1 goal in the Prem, but there's a play on him. So, what according to you guys in the VR room? What if it was one signing that you would have done in January? What position would that be? Would it be striker? Would it be the centre back position, or would it be midfield? Sal.
All three, I wish. So
all three.
Yeah. For me, it's a tough one. I would say centre back. Centre back. Well, then Martinez is coming back, isn't he? So
yes.
Midfield probably. Midfield. Strong midfielder to replace McTominay in there. So I would like a midfielder. Striker as well, but. Well, I think we're going to get to Debo though because
well. If we got money in January for Scott McTominay, would you sell him?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
he's been playing up for a good contract. Yeah.
He's. I mean, he works hard, but I just don't think he's got what it takes. I've said that for years now. I feel like a broken record. He's a good player, but if you want to go to that next level, I mean, as evident when we play teams like Man City and stuff, we get found out. I mean, you can do that against the Lutons and Sheffield United. You can play a McTominay, but when it comes to the Man Cities, the Bayern Munichs, you get found out. I think I would sell him, and get cash in on him if we could still cash in on him, and if he wants to leave, of course.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? If there was one position to bolster, where would you go? Would you go midfield? Would you go striker? Would you go for Leonardo? Would you go for Todibo? Out of all these we are linked to.
I mean, if I really, really had to choose, I'd go for Marcos Leonardo because I think you can't pass up a striker. That talent doesn't come around often, especially when a young lad is as clinical as he is. I mean, in the last 43 games, he scored, 27 goals. I think that's something you need to keep an eye on. You don't get that kind of hungry clinical talent anywhere, just anytime. So I think the striker would be the most important. Just to say that we have him here, is more important than waiting till the next lad comes around some of the time. And then maybe you might have to pay 100 million for that guy. I mean? Yeah. I would have said a defender, but as you said, Martinez is coming back. So is he going to get game time? I mean, if we was to sell Scott McTominay, a midfielder would be good. But I think we have Hannibal in the wings, and he can do the McTominay role better than McTominay, in my opinion.
But barring that Maguire has been playing up his contract right now, barring that McSauce is also doing good, this puts them in a great position in the shopping window in January. So if we get bids for him, that's where your money come from. And that's where you can sort of get a Todibo and probably a Marcos Leonardo on the cheap, which you said 15 million pounds. That's
15 million pounds.
And how much is Todibo?
Todibo is 35 million pounds right now, but he could go upwards to 50. You know how the French market is when Man United come in
January.
There's a Man United tax.
And January is always the buyer's market, never the seller's market. So
100%.
Anyway, but that's the thing. Like I think we're probably, I don't know, man. Usually, I've seen 2 years in a row we go for loan. I mean, the last person we signed in January, I think it was Bruno Fernandes. They hit the ground running. But Jolly Manmin is saying Maguire is our best defender at the moment. Very strange to say that because both of these fringe players, what we're talking about, we wanted them out in the summer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So these are the ones that have been saving our assets anyway. Guys, I'm just a little bit conscious of time. I want to end the stream on 60 minutes. We have 45 seconds left. Big up for Sal for coming in. This is not your debut. You've been on this channel before. That was about 8 months ago, something like that.
Think so, yeah. Around that time. I think a couple of times.
Guys, where can people find you? You have about approximately 10,000 followers on Twitter. Streetford Post, big up to you. Go follow him. Where can people find you on your socials, mate?
Streetford Post on Twitter, Streetford Post on Instagram, or Sal UK if you like the personal stuff. That's my personal account. So, yeah, Streetford Post.
Yep. Looking forward to have you more frequently on this channel as well, brother. You know, considering we are almost on the same time length at the moment. Mark, big up for you coming in here. Hope you're not freezing too much. And
no. It's a decent temperature. It's cold, but not that cold.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always enjoying it. I'm always warmed up anyway. You know, I got my beanie, my hoodie. It's all good. Thanks for having me this morning, guys. Thanks for everyone for
Just
joining.
to summarize,
Pleasure to meet you, Sal.
Same to you, Mark.
Just to summarize what we talked about, is United turning the tides? Certainly the table is proving it. The run of form is proving it. We are not playing the best football, but we see that they are coming back. They are coming back with the players coming back from the injuries. We are starting to see a little bit more of an Erik ten Hag ball. The judge and jury will be out. We have a crucial run of games. We are playing Galatasaray Wednesday. That's going to be crucial. Then playing Newcastle away. The fixture is looking... we have Chelsea as well at home after that as well. Right, guys?
And Liverpool away.
And Liverpool, that's the big test. I think Liverpool was on the 19th or 17th. So, guys, anyway, don't forget to smash the like. 19th, yeah. Don't forget to smash the like. We are just hitting 19.4K subscribers. It's been a mad week for us. We are on a hunt for the Red October. October's passed, but we are on a hunt for 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you can help us reach that, that'd be fantastic. If you do smash that like, it's free. That helps us video and the channel to go up against the corporate trash, and you know what I mean, the clickbait stuff, you know, because YouTube algorithm, that is a dividends, the likes buttons. Please, guys, don't forget to give us a little bit cheeky like. And until then, what do we say? Win, lose, or draw, or in this case, win, lose, sure. You know, peace, love, and go bananas. Glazes out, green and gold until we sold, guys. Big up Sal for coming in. Big up Mark for coming in as well. Big up for the VR room as well. It's time to close the shop, Mark. Goodbye, people.